This episode provides an overview of major considerations for recording interviews with audio and video. It discusses best practices and offers valuable insights and pro tips from professionals. For more information, please see the links and additional readings suggested throughout the module. This module does not recommend specific products because technology rapidly changes. For more information on technology, see the website Oral History in the Digital Age. You can also ask Doug. These resources are the best available to answer any technological questions you may have. For best results, record with video and audio. If one recorder has technical difficulty, the other recorder will ensure the oral history is not permanently lost. User errors do happen often in oral history, but if you back up your recordings, your technical errors will not result in the destruction of history. You don't want to be responsible for losing history, do you? Digital audio recorders. The days of cassette recording are long gone. For a relatively inexpensive cost, you can purchase a high-quality digital audio recorder or loan one from a library. Ask a librarian if they can purchase the equipment if they do not already have it. Most digital recorders come with a decent microphone, but you can purchase an additional one for a higher quality sound. Always record in WAV format. It's a stable audio format and appropriate for archiving purposes and should continue to be preservable. It is also important to record in stereo mode, not mono. What's the difference? In mono mode, sound is recorded in one single channel. Stereo uses two or more. You've probably heard the difference when listening to music on headphones. In mono mode, each ear would be receiving the exact same music. In stereo mode, each ear might hear something slightly different. This, of course, is what happens when you have a surround sound stereo system as well. You should record audio at as close to the permitted maximum quality as possible, without reaching or exceeding those limits. For more instruction, see Oral History in the Digital Age. External batteries. All recording devices should be supported by external batteries or plugged into an electrical output, as well as any internal batteries. If the digital recorder does not have an AC adapter, you can purchase an external battery to back up your power supply. Rather than buying numerous AA batteries and constantly worrying if the recording device will die during an interview, invest in the external battery. You can order an affordable battery that will power most digital recorders. Go ahead and invest in a larger memory card that can record several hours of audio. Some recorders come with memory cards, but you can upgrade to a larger capacity for a reasonable amount of money. A couple more pro tips. Memory cards should be completely erased and reformatted after the files are triplicated. Erasing the files from a memory card will not free up additional space until it is reformatted. Also, audio recorders will pick up background noise during a recording, so minimizing this issue before the beginning of the interview will improve the quality of the audio. Hardwood floors, squeaky chairs, clicky pens, ticking clocks, refrigerators, pets, and other people present can cause unexpected disturbances. Microphones. It may sound silly, but don't forget to turn on the microphone and plug it in correctly. If you're using a microphone that has batteries, be sure to check them before each use. On a digital recorder, you can do a mic check by checking the levels on the interface. Be sure the levels do not spike out. You want a high to mid-range audio level. Be sure to mic the narrator, of course, but if possible, mic yourself too, so the recording will include your questions. This may not always be possible, so if you cannot mic yourself, make sure the recorder picks up your voice from a short distance during microphone tests. Be sure that a narrator consents to each element within the oral history process, including various recording media. Narrators may not feel comfortable being recorded on video or having their photograph taken. This permission should be granted in the informed consent release, but it's common courtesy to ask a person if they mind being photographed and videotaped. Be sure to let them know that you intend to record with video during the pre-interview so they can plan accordingly. After all, how would you feel if you were having a bad hair day and some oral historian wanted to document your cowlick in an archive and make it accessible to the public? High-definition recording uses at least 1080 pixels. High-def and 4K camcorders are becoming increasingly affordable. Be sure to record on the highest definition settings that your camera allows. While the quality of video recording increases every year, it presents a major challenge for archivists. The higher the definition, the larger the storage capacity needed. That is something to keep in mind and ask your archivist about whenever you get the chance. The higher costs and preservation challenges are usually very much worth it, however. Video increases the rhetorical impact of the interview, increases accessibility, and provides a medium for a much larger viewership. Video oral history. Video captures a much fuller range of human responses, such as expressions, emotions, personality, humor, irony, physical gestures, and other nonverbal cues that communicate beyond language. Transcription often represents these forms of communication awkwardly and incompletely with the use of editorial brackets and footnotes. Audio records some of these verbalized expressions, but video offers a more complete portrait of the narrator. Here are some other considerations. When interviewing historically marginalized or underrepresented peoples, such as people with disabilities, video can both document and elicit emotional and psychological responses. While an audience may be able to recognize these responses, ethical interviewers must consider the vulnerability of narrators. People with disabilities especially may have privacy concerns when it comes to video. Shared authority helps navigate these dilemmas. Granting the opportunity to review recorded materials before they are made public more completely ensures explicit consent. Always communicate and accommodate. Equipment. Invest in a high-capacity memory card with more than enough space to record for several hours. You don't want to be in the middle of an interview and run out of memory. After you save your files on an external hard drive, be sure to reformat the memory card each time. Invest in a quality tripod for user-friendly leveling and swiveling. For more detailed information about how to organize a video oral history kit to match your budget, see the link from Oral History in the Digital Age website, which gives more detailed information that will help you start recording video. External microphones. If you invest in a camcorder, be sure it has an external microphone input. The internal microphones on most video cameras do not record a quality sound. For a reasonable cost, you can buy a lapel mic or a shotgun mic, but shotgun microphones are more directional, meaning they do not pick up the interviewer as well. For best results in an oral history interview, mic both the narrator and the interviewer with a lapel mic. To be sure that the audio is recording properly, consider using headphones to monitor the recording. Pro tip: always triplicate files and reformat memory cards. Once you have concluded an oral history interview, you have the responsibility to ensure the safekeeping of a valuable historical source. Immediately triplicate it. Copy the files onto an external hard drive. Save them to your computer. And if you have access to an online storage database, upload all files. If any of the equipment fails, you will save your data. Next, and this is vitally important, after copying your files, reformat your memory cards. Deleting the files will not free up the space on your memory card. You must connect the memory card to your laptop or desktop and right-click on the icon, then reformat the drive. Trust me, you do not want to begin an interview thinking you have enough memory to complete it, and then find out later you lost half of the recording due to technical error. Light. Try not to blend natural light and artificial lighting. If the natural light is poor, if you live in New England during the winter, for example, consider using artificial light if it's adequate. If the room has a natural light source, such as numerous windows, turn off the lamps and other lights. You can test the quality of a video image to see which lights capture the best quality. Most video cameras have built-in lighting that use ambient light to produce a quality image, so most beginning oral historians do not need to invest valuable resources in acquiring professional lighting systems. However, if you do want to take your oral history project to the next level, below is some helpful advice. Professional lighting suggestions. Key light to the side. Backlight, a small spotlight behind and above the narrator. Fill light, a small reflecting board opposite the key. As with most questions involving oral history and technology, ask Doug Boyd. In this short video, he explains the 3-point system for lighting. Framing the shot. During an oral history interview, the focus should be on the narrator. Set up the equipment approximately 5 to 7 feet away at eye level. Interviewers should not be in the shot. Interviewers should sit directly next to the camera to operate the equipment, which also has the added purpose of directing the narrator's position in front of the camera. When the narrator makes eye contact with you, it looks like they are looking toward the camera when speaking. This gives the illusion that the narrator is speaking to the audience, but the narrator should only look directly into the camera in unique situations for a rhetorical impact. You can tell them this before the interview if you like, though most people will naturally focus attention at the interviewer. Medium close-up shot. This frames the narrator from the upper chest to just above the top of the head. Pro tip, zooming out a little may be necessary for a narrator who moves a lot during the interview. The rule of thirds is a basic convention of photography. The rule of thirds divides video frames into thirds, both horizontally and vertically, and places the narrator at the intersection of those lines. See this example from the website Oral History in the Digital Age. This image uses both framing conventions. For a more detailed discussion on frames, click the bottom link. With all of the various moving parts involved in doing oral history, making sure the equipment is working, making sure the narrator is in the frame, and dealing with every possible interruption that you can imagine, it can be easy to lose sight of the goal. Oral historians do this work because they recognize true value in the stories of people. An oral history interview is not a space where the interviewer demonstrates their own expertise on a subject. Listen to the narrator and learn. Be sure to give the narrators the respect and attention they deserve. These people are opening up to you in the most personal and intimate ways. Honor that trust. Record their stories, yes, but really hear them. If the narrator gets some sense of catharsis and fulfillment thanks to your curiosity in their lives, consider yourself a successful oral historian. Mishaps will always happen. After years of experiences, we all continue to make mistakes. Learn from them, grow, and try not to make the same mistake twice.